Hello again, YouTube. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net, coming to you live from Studio 76 in Valrico, Florida. I want to apologize to everyone who is subscribed to my channel. I haven't been doing any updates recently, and I really don't have any good excuses. With a team like the Bucs, where we had a very disappointing year going into free agency, we knew we weren't going to be a very big player. Whether you're one who believes that this is a conspiracy by the Glazers to continue to be cheap, or whether you believe it is a strategic move, part of the quote-unquote plan by Mark Dominic and Raheem Morris to build through the draft, it doesn't really matter, because the fact of the matter is we knew we were not going to be a player for the big names like Anquan Boldin out there in free agency that may take a team that's one or two players away over the hump. Fact is, we're way more than one or two players away. And most recently, the player that people are talking about is Brandon Marshall, which I hope is a farce. I'm not a Brandon Marshall fan. I don't think we need a locker room cancer like him. I think that the plan, as it were, if I give the front office credit for that plan to build through the draft, is as good as any. We need a lot of help in a lot of positions. So there were a couple of posts, a couple of questions that came across in comments. I want to thank you guys for sending the comments. A couple of questions were around drafts and free agency. Like I said, in free agency, I didn't expect us to go after any of the big names. We got a couple of guys come over here via trade, via free agency. Reggie Brown come over for the Eagles. Obviously fell out of favor in Philly. You Philly fans out there know your team way the hell better than I do, but receivers, you guys are stacked. I just saw today they dropped Kevin Curtis as well. So the Tampa Bay fans down here were pissing and moaning that he's a 5 in Philadelphia. Why would we bring him down here? Well, because sadly the 5 in Philadelphia is better than any of our receivers that are left on the roster. With Antonio Bryant heading out of town, heading to Cincy to be with Ocho Cinco. That leaves us with Michael Stonehands Clayton. Now we got Sammy Strouder coming back. Great rookie season. Great rookie season is a stretch. A good rookie season. Coming off an injury. Maurice Stovall has a chance to step up, but once you get past that, we don't have a whole lot past K2 in the passing game. So Reggie Brown gives us a good body in there. We just signed linebacker John Alston from the Raiders, which will give us a little bit of depth at linebacker, some special teams capabilities as well. And Sean Jones, we were able to bring in as well to provide some safety depth. So, decent signings, bodies for training camp, nothing spectacular. In the draft, sitting there at number 3, I think we've got 4 picks in the top 42 and 5 in the top 60, 10 overall. A lot of draft picks that we can do a lot of things with, whether it means actually picking them or trading them around. We'll have a ton of flexibility. Now, it looked like we were going to be sitting there and needing to trade up to get one of the 2 coveted defensive tackles, which many experts predict we'll be going for. But with the action that's happened in the offseason so far, the Rams are certainly seeming to tip their cap that they are, or tip their hand that they're going towards quarterback. And Sam Bradford seems to have the inside path, depending on how he looks in his pro day. If his shoulder looks solid, it looks like the Rams will not be able to pass on a franchise quarterback, given the fact that their quarterback situation is dire with Mark Bulger. That sets up an interesting scenario where at number 3 we're guaranteed one of the 2 guys that we were interested in, whether it be Ndamukong Suh from Nebraska or Gerald McCoy. So what made this more interesting was that the Detroit Lions have been strong players in free agency, going out there and strengthening their defensive line, which means that we may actually have a choice at number 3. I think the most recent mock that we heard about was one of the mocks has Suh going all the way down to 8. I believe McShay or Mayock, I think it might have been McShay, had the Bucs given a choice taking McCoy because he's a better pass rusher. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I'm not a draft expert by any stretch, but I think that Ndamukong Suh is too good to pass up at the 3 spot. I personally am hoping that we're able to get some receiver help as well, maybe get a chance to look at a Golden Tate or someone like that. I know a lot of people down here are pulling for Marty Gilliard. I don't think we can go wrong with any of the top 5 to 7 receivers in the draft, but we definitely have to accumulate some talent across the board, and certainly not the exception of the offense either. But most of the fans down here will talk cornerback. I know that our staff was very impressed with Hayden at the Florida Gator Pro Day, but we're not going to smell him, right? He's going to go between 5 and probably 12, and unless we trade down from 3, which is the risk here. So if the Bucs find themselves in a situation where that 3 spot has Suh and McCoy, and you get a team like the Seahawks who want to move up to guarantee that they can get a quarterback that they want, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for the Bucs to try and trade down and think they're still going to get the guy they want, or else maybe they've equivocated a number of guys, whether it be the 2 defensive tackle prospects that they like, Eric Berry, Hayden. I personally want to see a defensive tackle brought in. I would like to see Suh or McCoy. I would put my vote in Suh so far. But those are just some quick thoughts. We'll try and do some more stuff in the off season here. I apologize. I want to thank you guys who came over from the YouTube channel over to the broadcast. We are still doing our WhatTheBuck.net broadcast on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. So if you have a chance and you want to come over and catch up with what we're doing on a real-time basis, come on over to the website, and I'll make sure I get my ass out here on YouTube more often. Thanks. Rate this up. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later. Congratulations to the New Orleans Saints. I know I talked a lot of shit. Didn't want another trophy in the NFC South. I'm not going to lie about it. But it's hard to hate on the Saints. A quality squad, quality following, quality fans. Congratulations to a job well done.